Welcome to Builder Buzz by Home Nation, where we bring in builders, developers, and everyday investors to talk about one of America's biggest opportunities, affordable housing. We'll talk about real costs, explosive growth, big mistakes, and tough lessons you won't learn anywhere else. Whether you're building homes, buying land, or just building big ideas, this podcast is for you.
Hi everybody, my guest today is Kurt Shank. He's with Aurora Custom Home Builders and with Smart Builder 360. One is the home builder and the other is the software. And he actually started this software back in the 90s, which that's pretty extraordinary for a software company to exist for construction in the 90s. It's not really typical. Those things didn't start to come until into the 2000s. So pretty astounding that he had the vision to make his own software for building, and now that's something that he's selling. It's kind of, you could say, a software for builders by builders, which means it's going to work really well. If I were to build the software, I wouldn't know nearly as much. He's been in the industry for over 35 years, so he knows what he's talking about when it comes to construction. This is going to be a great podcast. There's a ton to learn, and his backstory is really amazing. He didn't have it easy. He didn't have any handouts, but he made it happen. So listen to this. It's going to be great.
Hey, my name's Kurt Shank. I'm the owner of Aurora Custom Homes and Smart Builder 360. We build custom homes here in Central Ohio, and I also have a organizational software.
And so you started Aurora Custom Homes long before Smart Builder 360?
I started doing this back in 1990,
yeah.
And shortly after I got started, I was in very difficult times because I didn't have the experience, and so I started a version of Smart Builder 360.
Mm-hmm. Now, in 1990, you start as a contractor doing custom homes in Ohio.
Correct.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been doing this 35 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty well. So you know what you're doing. You started the software company how many years after?
Probably 1 to 2 after. I was just so young and making all these mistakes, and I needed something, and I knew how to write some code, and so I made my first version of Smart Builder 360, and it's great. I was using it. I still use it to this day for our company, and it was very challenging times.
So I want to get to that, very challenging times, but it's so interesting because 1990, right, and a couple of years later, there are not a lot of software companies. It's just very new. There was not a lot of. You couldn't probably go and find a software for builders. Probably that's why you built it. And so I was curious, like, how did you find someone to build a software for a custom home builder in the 90s?
I did it myself.
Yeah. How'd you learn to code?
College.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So you would have been an early adapter of that by today's standards.
It was very crude in some aspects, but it got polished up through time. But as time developed, so did the software.
What code did you write it in?
C++.
Okay, and has that held pretty strong throughout the years? Or
No. We actually it's changed now. I actually have a colleague that's actually another builder, and he approached me about rewriting it in React in Linux.
Yep.
And so that's I got a partner. I got some great ideas with him, and we decided to rewrite it with React. And I have a programmer now.
Okay.
It's much above my pay grade.
Yeah. So has it been rewritten in React?
Yes.
Wow.
For about 4 years now.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty ahead because React's it's a very popular code now. A lot. And so you were kind of ahead of that then
I saw the shortcomings where I knew that in order to scale this larger, which getting my new partner and friend, we said we're going to have to do this right, and so we jumped in, and it's been great. It really has been.
That's so cool. I love that. So it is a software by builders for builders.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, that over 35 years, and obviously I don't have everything figured out, but I have been around the block a few times. And I've seen all the other guys out there, all the other players in the software market, and they're fine. I don't have anything bad to say about them. But I'm a builder. I know what the challenges that my colleagues go through. And we call it noise. And a lot of these other programs have a lot of noise. We stripped all that down. We made it simple to use. There's practically no learning curve, Quinton. Builders see it and they're like, this is so easy, I can do it. I said, I know.
So you've been selling it for some time, right? It was in the 2000s. Sounds like.
More regionally, but now since we've scaled it, we're everywhere now.
So do you anticipate being more of a software company in the future, or hey, we still build homes? And because it sounds like the software has been kind of for your use, and then as sales, sort of a thing on the side. Do you ever anticipate shifting?
I have a son that works with me in the construction business, and at some point maybe he'll take the reins, and I can concentrate more on the software.
Yeah, because I mean, you custom home builder. I'm sure it's great margins. You've been in the business so long. I'm sure you got plenty of business. But as a software as a service, those types of companies have the biggest margins historically. And it's just, but the trade-off is there are not going to be as many players. You'll have the few top companies servicing everybody. Whereas custom home builders, you'll be a different custom home builder in the county next door.
Exactly.
So it just depends on what you want to focus on. Pick your battles.
Yeah, I love construction. Obviously, I've been doing it for 35 years. But I also like the challenge with Smart Builder 360. It's new, it's exciting, and I know that I've been around. I'm rounding third, coming home. It's nice that I can talk to younger builders and kind of mentor them and share my experiences and maybe make their journey a little bit easier than what mine was.
Yeah, you said it was pretty tough there at the beginning.
Very trying. So after I graduated college, I went into the family business. It was a different construction company, and my father, we had a mortgage company and we had a construction company.
Oh wow!
And so I worked a lot of the mortgage company right after graduation, but my father passed away, so I transitioned solely into the construction company, and I was probably 24, 25 years old.
Wow.
And I had no idea what I was doing.
Oh my goodness.
And it was tough.
Yeah. Wow. And you were running things?
I was 100% running things.
Wow.
And didn't have my mentor there, who I thought would be around forever and
wow.
Retire at some point, but it all came very abrupt.
Wow.
So
why did you step up to that instead of saying, no, we're not doing this?
I knew that I always wanted to be in the construction, and my father actually encouraged me to go out and work for somebody else first. I didn't want to. So this is kind of like, okay, this is what I know what I can do.
Yeah.
I just have to, it was sink or swim, and I had to survive.
Wow. How many employees did you have at that point?
3.
Yeah.
Myself, my dad, and one other person. That was it. And so now it was down to 2.
And you were probably in the field as much as in the office.
Oh, I was. And that's a story in itself, because I didn't know what I was doing in the field.
Yeah, good point. You only know how to do so much at such a young age.
No. Yeah. So, I was around it always growing up, going to the job sites with my dad, but now fully being in charge of the job sites, making sure this house or this project was going to be complete on time, it was trial by fire. It was.
Wow, I'm so sorry, man. That would be such a stressful time. That would be extremely stressful.
Yeah.
I had not quite exactly the same, but somewhat similar. I moved here to Florida. My father owns this business, and with mobile homes, installing them, pulling the permits, doing the septic, doing the well, driveway, all that stuff, right? And I had a mentor. His name was Al, and he was a Vietnam vet. He was a great guy. Call him Big Al. He was like early 70s. 6'1", 250 pounds. Like, Al, you gotta watch your weight. Anyway, he did pass away suddenly, and I was very green, very fresh. I didn't know my left hand from my right. And he passed away, and then all of a sudden, boom! I have all of these jobs to do. Some of them starting, some of them in the middle, some of them finishing, some of them servicing after the fact, and I didn't even know how to pull a permit. No idea, no clue. And it's in Florida too, where Florida permits are a little, they're not as easy compared to some other states. I'm not exactly sure how it is up where you're at, but you got to have all sorts of paperwork. And like I remember going to the building department and speaking with a lady there, and I was young, right? I was in my early 20s, and I was maybe 21, and she was older, and she gave me, I tried to submit this permit and I did it wrong. And she just spoke really sternly with me, not rude or anything, but she's like, don't come back here until you fill out da 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 da. Do not come back here until you get this right. And I was like, yes, ma'am, I got it. Like, okay. And I did what she said, and I came back with it filled out, and it was so sweet. She's like, I have grandchildren, so I kind of know how to talk to da 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 to tell you what to do. And I was like, I thought it was funny. Like, she was so much older, I was so much younger. She didn't say, oh, I have kids. She's like, I have grandkids your age, so I know how to communicate. But it was tough, man. I remember I would just kind of stare at the wall sometimes because I'd be so overwhelmed.
You probably thought to yourself, like, should I even be doing this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had, but I didn't know, so I made plenty of mistakes. My phone was blowing up constantly. I had no structure to my day because I couldn't. I didn't know how to get my hands around it. I had no control of the reins, and I was just so overwhelmed. And I didn't, as much as I love my father, he had other things that he needed to focus on.
Right.
So I couldn't even go to him necessarily. So it was very difficult.
It was. Yeah.
Wouldn't really want to do it again. It learned a lot, paid off in that sense. So I imagine you had a much more intense experience because custom homes is a lot more detail.
It was challenging, not only from that, but on a personal level. I had already lost my mom when I was 15.
Wow.
So, and then taking over the business, I had to also navigate my siblings. I have two siblings, a brother and sister, and their families, and how my father's estate was going to be broken up into companies, and they weren't in the construction industry, and they didn't want to be, and so and rightfully so, because I lack experience and knowledge. So I ended up having to buy them out. So I was cash strapped for a while.
Yeah, you would. Yeah.
So I had that thrown at me too, and it was interesting.
Wow. Have you been able to maintain those relationships with your siblings?
Oh yeah. Everything's great. It's just that's not their thing. My brother likes golf, and at the time he was golfing a lot, and he was doing that thing, and my sister had her own business down in Columbus, so it was all good.
So you stuck with it. That's good because it can be challenging. People want different portions of the pie, and they don't understand the complexity involved with it. And suddenly you have to make really big decisions, and you don't have really the mentor that you thought you would have. Did the other employee stick with the business?
Well, the other employee, she actually she was an administrative lady that worked with our mortgage company a lot and did some clerical work. So I actually ended up selling that mortgage company at one point, and so she actually left and went and stayed with the mortgage company.
Do you, that seems like a pretty good pairing to have a construction company and a mortgage company. Was that a good decision to sell it?
As I look back now, because mortgage companies and financial institutions took a hit in 2007 and 8. And so,
that's true.
And unfortunately, that company didn't survive. So
no way. How did you do during that time period?
Oh, it's funny you say that. Well, we decided to finance our homes ourselves because we couldn't get construction loans. So we would actually spec the home, take a large down payment for people, and then they could go out and get permanent financing. So we'd have to front the money. It was a chance. It was a gamble.
Oh man. It
was a gamble, but we did it.
That is such a gamble. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm really interested in that. So you couldn't get construction loans. Is that because that product didn't exist at the time, or is it a different reason?
The banks had pulled their wings in. They didn't want to deal with builders and offer construction loans in our area. So I thought, well, I've got some money saved up. Let's spec some houses. Not too crazy, but we spec'd a few houses. And then people came in, and I said, I'll tell you what, we'll take a huge down payment, and we survived. Made money.
Now, this was around the '08,
Hmm.
and post '08
Yeah.
was that time frame. So you were getting loans before then, and then things tightened up.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that is crazy because that is you could. I mean, it only takes a couple jobs, and you're over $1 million. You
Right.
know,
Right.
like
And
it does.
it could have taken me down. And
Mm-hmm.
as I look back, I'm thinking, would today's Kurt really do that? I'm
Yeah.
not sure I would have. I'm not sure I would have.
Yeah,
I
really.
mean,
Was the payoff worth it?
yeah, well, it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
because we lost so many builders in that time frame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when the market rebounded, my phone was just slamming. It
I
was
bet,
great.
man. Yeah, I bet because you were still in the business. And it basically, what would have happened if you did not fund these yourself?
We wouldn't have had business.
Yeah. Because the lenders
Would
they just weren't there.
They weren't there.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Were there other construction companies doing the same thing as you?
There was one that I was aware of. And
Mm-hmm.
that guy, when we kind of shifted markets, we came to a different market over here towards the Canton, Ohio area, and there was an older established builder, and I kind of became friends with him, and
Mm-hmm.
he feed me some land occasionally and so forth to develop. And long story short, he did the same thing as I
Yeah.
did.
Well, that is so. We have gotten ourselves in some situations doing similar things where how do you secure your position in that instance?
I took a large down payment, and at the
Yeah.
time was $30,000, or
Yeah.
25,000,
Yeah.
and hoping that they, wouldn't walk away.
Yeah, because they have skin in the game.
Yeah.
And that's kind of seems to be the biggest, because I was actually talking about this with our finance manager the other day. I'm like, well, how do we limit our exposure on some of these deals? Because we'll fund certain things before the loan will fund, and we have a kind of a dollar value to it. But in some cases, the customer doesn't have much skin in the game. And if they wanted to be difficult, it could, where it's like, hey, I don't like that. This door is not level. Therefore, I'm not going to close this out. And we've had it happen on some occasions. And we want to make it right. And so we always take care of it, whether it's before or after all the details are finalized with the funding.
Mm-hmm.
So we always do take care of it, but customers don't know that. And, just customers are customers. And sometimes it's challenging. So my answer, aside from owning the land, right, and then selling it back to them after building it, would be, because if you put a mortgage on the property, you'll run into complications with the lender.
Right.
So the only other answer I can think of is taking a sizable deposit.
That's it.
It's not exactly the answer that I want, but it seems to be.
It's not the best answer, but it seemed at the time, like, okay, can make this work.
Yeah.
But as I look back, I shake my head.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. So you started Smart Builder 360 around the time that you were going through figuring things out, and you would have been hitting roadblocks in certain areas, and you decided, if I do software for this is going to solve a lot for me.
Absolutely. I mean, that kind of started because my dad was old school. He was yellow pad and paper, no computers. And I remember asking him, I say, hey, how much do we make on this house? Well, I think we made X number of dollars here. I said, well, do we know? And this was before QuickBooks as well, So I was like, man, we need a better way to keep, customer selections, in order, and, project estimating. And I thought, well, I can do this. So that's how it started.
You have to be quite the visionary to recognize that, because it's not like you had all of these examples of companies doing the same sorts of things in different industries or anything like that. So that's a lot of foresight for what's to come.
And I've, as long as I've had it, and I've seen some of the other players out there, and I've used some of the other players that are different than mine, even though they say it's all the same thing. They're not, and I have certain features they don't even come close to.
Oh yeah,
and I can't believe it. But yeah,
as an example,
we have we can create a customizable specifications booklet or your scope of work, and is detailed. If you want it to be 300 pages long, you can. Some of these other guys, they give you a little paragraph just to put what you're going to build the house. And the way that our spec book is generated, we call it a questionnaire.
Yeah.
And once you answer this questionnaire, it creates this spec book in the background that is automatically sent out to all your trades, to your customer. It's so unique.
Mhm.
It's the game changer, I think. It
Yeah, I
really
was gonna.
is.
Yeah, what really sets Smart Builder 360 apart from these other? Because there are plenty of other builder software
Oh,
companies, plenty
sure.
of them.
Yeah. It in itself is worth its, ticket to
Mm,
the admission. The software itself is super easy to use. There's
mm,
practically no learning curve. What if I get in front of builders? I share the stories. Their war stories, so to speak. They tell
mm.
me all theirs. I can relate. I know what they've been through, and when I show them this, it's 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 great because they
Yeah,
they say, well, I've used this software, that software, and it's so complicated. And I
yeah,
said, well, they weren't built by builders. They don't understand. They don't
yeah.
understand what you need. I do.
Yeah. I love. It seems like simplicity is very
Oh,
important.
yeah,
Hmm. Yeah.
100%. Because I get around some of the builders. They're the middle-aged builder to older builder. They don't like technology at all. And they're like, I don't have time for it. I don't want to lose. So, show my office person this or
Yeah.
that. I get that. But the younger generation, they like tech.
Hmm.
So they want to have all those bells and whistles. And we do have bells and whistles, but we just don't make it difficult to operate.
Yeah. I mean, there does come a point where the bells and whistles they get in the way. They're not necessary. It's
Yep.
just, I like simplicity. I mean, come on. Think of Apple. Simple. You want to keep things simple. And that's what
Yeah.
made them what they are today. Simplicity.
It's funny you say that because I've been a Mac guy my whole life.
Yeah.
And I remember getting my first Mac in, the 80s. And I've always liked that whole simplicity thing. And maybe that's where, subconsciously, that's where I got that from. Who knows? But
Mm.
yeah, I love it.
Yeah, and so my brother writes code for our company, and we're actually redoing the website as well in I think like Node.js, React, and Node,
Yeah. Yeah.
and just trying to make it a little more future proof because it's currently in PHP. So just redoing some things there, and he is all about simple code and like
Yeah.
where anybody can read it and understand it, and you don't use a bunch of complicated ways to do things. Really simple, clean code. That's what he's all about.
And he's right. He's right.
Hmm. Hmm. So, and then so like that concept, it all the way down to this foundation, how Smart Builder 360 is even coded. Simplicity permeates through all of that, so it comes through on
Oh,
the user's end.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, you'll see it. I mean, we
Yeah.
give you you can try it free for 30 days.
Hmm.
And we've
Hmm.
got a lot of, you can either purchase it monthly or annually.
Yeah.
It's very straightforward. There's no
Yeah. I saw that.
hidden things. What's great too is when you have this software, we want you to use it. And so
Hmm.
I help builders set it up. I almost help all the builders set it up. We give you templates that are my templates that we use that you can customize. But in the unlikely event that you don't like it, you can cancel Smart Builder on your own. You don't need to
Yeah.
call me because I hate
Yeah.
those subscription-based things where you
Yeah.
keep
Yeah. Call them.
transferring. Yeah, yeah,
Exactly. Send in write it out and sign it. Like, dude, I'm
yeah,
not trying
yeah.
to.
People don't like that.
Simplicity. I like it.
That's,
So, all right. So you've got this partner that has joined the picture with
yeah,
Smart Builder 360.
yeah.
Sounds like recently, in the past few years, 4 years or so. Is that right?
Uh, he's like I said, he's a builder. Call him a friendly competitor. But
Mm-hmm.
we actually became friends many years ago, and we have some businesses together. And this was a natural progression. It's easy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great partner. I love
Mm-hmm.
his. He thinks things very similar to me,
Mm-hmm.
but yet different. So that's great for Smart Builder because we can get two different sets of eyes on things, and
Mm-hmm.
it's been great.
Yes, I'm curious. What is it that he brings to the table that, like, what made you decide this is a good partner to bring into this company that I've already been doing for a couple decades?
It's something, just a different set of eyes. I
Yeah.
just stand too close to the trees to see the forest, and
Yeah.
I wanted a different take on
Mm-hmm.
things.
That's good. So what do you see changing with Smart Builder 360?
It's adapting. I'll tell you, Quinton, it's adapting because we have a little checklist that we have. We give people, say, what do you want to see as
Mm.
far as improvements and so forth like this. And if I keep saying the same thing, I get together with
Yes.
my partner and I say, maybe we should either rewrite this section here and adapt it, or add this I don't want to call it a module, but add this feature to it. So we're always adapting, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah. Adapting. Do you see growth for Smart Builder in the future?
And as far as what way?
Getting more people signed up. You said it was regional to start with, and now you're moving outside of that.
Yes. So yeah, regional was more of the earlier days.
Yeah.
And so when we rewrote it, now we're everywhere because it's subscription based and it's backed up on AWS.
Yes.
And so the idea of it growing, yes, we want to grow it big.
So how do you do that?
What we're doing right now, we're getting on these podcasts, getting our name out.
Yeah.
We go to trade shows. We were down in Atlanta recently at a trade show.
Yeah.
And I go to the local HBAs, BIAs.
Mm-hmm.
We beat the path, and we call people all the time. We have people that call.
Mm-hmm.
I try to call people, a couple builders twice a week.
Yeah.
Just to get it out there.
Would you anticipate coming down to IBS in February?
Probably not yet. That's a big jump right there.
Yeah.
And the financial outlay at that show is huge. But the more the regional ones actually have been great. They give us the same feel as IBS, just a little bit more intimate.
Yeah.
And I still get the glad hand, talk to people, share the stories.
Yeah,
that's great.
And if it works for you where you're at, that's great.
Yeah. Yes, we'd love to be there to answer that question though.
Yeah, it's going to be in Orlando in 2026.
Correct.
Which it hasn't been for however long. And then I think it'll permanently be in Vegas from then on.
Yeah. Yep.
So, do you kind of have a path for how you want to grow, or is it just like, hey, let's see how this goes organically, and we'll figure it out from there? Because I've got custom homes to build in the meantime.
Well, we have a path of we have our goals where we want to be, and so we're trying to achieve those. But we feel that social media is huge. We see it. I mean, I see the competitors out there with their reels and all that good stuff. So we know we have to do that, and we are doing that. We're just getting there.
It's a lot you'll have to have a team behind you sooner or later to do all that sort of stuff, because if you try to do it all yourself, calling people, setting them up, helping them with questions they have, managing social media, I mean, it's going to be a lot. It
is a lot.
You got to be passionate about what you're doing. Otherwise you're like, all right, that's it. I'm done. I'm not calling another person. I bet your phone is pretty busy.
It rings a lot.
So you don't have a partner with Aurora Custom Homes, do you? It's just you?
No, just me.
Will you ever sell that?
Sell the company? I'm not attached to anything.
You mentioned, because the reason I asked, you mentioned you have your son, and it's like, what is the future? Is the future going to be building the custom homes, or is the future going to be building the software?
My vision, I'd like to have my son slide up into my position. And then I can concentrate a little bit more on Smart Builder 360.
Yeah. That
would be great.
Yeah, it's good. The similar sort of thing with my father, where I took over kind of the main business so that he could work on some visionary stuff that has way more potential than what we're doing. Not that what we're doing doesn't have potential. It's just, hey, this is a bigger vision, and he's the visionary to go he's the mover and shaker for it.
I think that was very well stated. That's kind of exactly where I hope to see things.
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic, Kurt. Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate your time today. This has been great to hear the journey. You're very experienced builder, so I can imagine that Smart Builder 360 accomplishes pretty much anything that anyone would need. And it sounds like if it doesn't, you're there to write it. Say, okay, let's make that feature available.
That's right. We're here for them.
So if anyone's listening, and they're interested, and any builders are listening, where should they head to?
smartbuilder360.com.
Yep.
Try it out free for 30 days.
Yeah, I saw that.
Shoot me an email. Call me.
Yeah,
I'm here.
All your info's there. Kurt's ready. Thank you. Well, appreciate it, man. That's a good place to end. Thank you so much for your time today. I might check in with you sometime in the future to see, like, hey, is that Smart Builder 360 growing more? Are you heading to IBS in 2027? I'd love to hear.
Never know. Sounds great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thanks, Kurt. We'll see ya.
We'll see you.
Bye.
Bye.